are a number of reasons why God allows his people to be in circumstances where provision is lacking. God had made it clear that when you go after other gods, you let those other gods take care of you. When you abandon me, Deuteronomy 11, verses 16 and 17, if you leave me for other gods, then I will close up the heavens. In other words, don't call on my blessing when you're worshiping another god. Let the competition take care of you. So when we abandon God through our sin and our idolatry, we walk away from the provider. Another reason why God allows lack of provision in our lives in a multiplicity of arenas, areas of our lives, is because he is trying us, testing us. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verses 1 to 3, God says, I let you get hungry. I let your food get low so that I might test your heart. In addition to that kind of test, he goes on in that same passage and says, and I did it to humble you. In other words, to get rid of some of your self-sufficiency. One of the reasons God will allow lack, emotional lack, physical lack, financial lack, career lack, one of the reasons God will allow lack is to strike a death blow at our independence. God hates pride. And he hates when you feel like you can make it without him. And to address independence from him, he will allow your contacts not to come through. The promotion not to come through. He will allow just when you thought you had a saving for something else to break down and eat it up. He will allow lack to let you know that you are not self-sufficient. That on your best day, on my best day, you and I are dependent. And so God does allow lack. You only have one source. There it is. As simple as that sounds, it is a life-transforming. You do not have multiple sources. Anything outside of God is a resource, not a source. It's merely a vehicle. So God knows you're going to need an encounter, which means he's going to have to create for you a situation. He's going to have to put you in a scenario to either deal with your idolatry or take you deeper in your faith. And that usually means it's a scenario you can't solve yourself. Because if you could solve it yourself, he knows you would go to that earthly solution rather than his heavenly intervention. Until we understand that we only have one source, until we understand that God is your only source and he doesn't want any competitors, then you'll be bouncing from resource to resource, hoping this resource works out. Maybe it's this resource, maybe it's that resource. You'll be jumping and doing hopping jacks all over the place, hoping that maybe this is the resource. I'm trying to free you up. See, a lot of us want to see God's provision without our obedience. We want God to provide first and then we might obey. Often when God wants to do something for you, he will ask something from you first.